Hello there! Today I'm going to try my hand at making sesame chicken. And it's going to require chicken, garlic, chicken of course, garlic, black pepper, soy sauce, salt, baking powder, an egg white, some starch, which would be potato starch or some cornstarch, and enough oil to fry chicken. And I'm going to be frying the chicken in this big old wok over here. So let's get started. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these chicken thighs. You're supposed to have a pound, but I don't have a pound left because wifey made chicken and dumplings the other night. And this is all that's left. So I'm going to debone them. And I'm going to cut these things into 1.5 inch squares. Or 1.5 inch chunks at least, And then we'll throw it in here. We're going to make a marinade first. But first let's get the chicken cut up. Well, after deboning, that's what I got left. I cut them all into about 1 inch squares. I cut a lot of the skin off. I just didn't want any skin today. But you can, the skin will come off a thigh real easy. You can leave it on or take it off. I decided to take it off. To heck with it. Now in the bowl, this is going to be our marinade. I'm going to put this in there. We're going to smush it all around and all that stuff. Now I'll read to you what I've got here. I put a teaspoon of grated garlic. It's supposed to be a teaspoon, but I used more than a teaspoon because I like garlic. And then a half a cup of soy sauce. A half a teaspoon, of soy sauce, a half a teaspoon of salt, some black pepper. I think I put a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper in there. 3/8 baking soda, 3/8 of a teaspoon. Well, I don't have a 3/8, so I just went with a little bit less than a half. I put an egg white, no yolk, just the egg white. 1 egg white, and a half a teaspoon of cornstarch. Now you can use potato starch or sweet potato starch. They all work just as good. Now I'm supposed to throw this in here, the chicken in here, and mix it all around, smush it all around, cover it up and let it sit for 40 minutes. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Before adding the chicken, I mixed all that gooey conglomeration together, and now we'll just go ahead and mix the chicken in with it. Make sure it's all covered. Well, I've got the oil in the wok. Hopefully that'll be enough to cook our chicken. The marinade's about ready to come out. I took some cornstarch. I tried it with the old potato starch. It just didn't work for me as well. I'm not used to working with potato starch. You can use potato starch or cornstarch or a mixture of each. You can even use flour. But I think the potato and cornstarch is what gives this sesame chicken a crunchiness. I also cut up some scallions, the green part. We'll be putting it on the sesame chicken just before we put it over the top of the rice. So now I've split up the batter. What I'm going to do is take the marinade out, put it in here. Then the marinated chicken and put it in there. Then I'll take the rest of this and put it in on top. And then we'll put the lid on this thing and shake it around until every bit of that chicken is covered. Alright, I'm spreading it out a little bit. I put some of that cornstarch on top and then put a second layer on top of it. And now we'll put the rest of the flour on top of it. And just kind of spread it around there. We're going to put the top on, give it a good shake here in a minute anyway. So everything we can to do to prep it will make our shaky a whole lot easier. Alright, here's the trick. We're going to take them out piece by piece, putting them in the wok where the grease is without burning myself. That ought to be a real test of my courage. And then when they turn kind of a yellow, we're going to be double frying this chicken because we want it to be really crisp. We're going to fry it towards kind of a yellowish color. We're going to take it out, let it sit for about 15 minutes, then we're going to put it back in and fry it until it turns golden brown. So let's see if I can pull that off. Now, by the way, we'll be frying it probably in batches. Well, we're getting ready to do the second fry. I got the wok heating back up. But before I do that, I want to show you the ingredients we're going to mix up for the sauce that'll cover the chicken. Now in here, I've got 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2.5 tablespoons of soy sauce. And I tried a different kind of soy sauce this time. Never heard of it. It may not be good. I don't know. Normally we use La Choy. 2.5 tablespoons of ketchup, 3 tablespoons of water, and a tablespoon of vinegar. I'm getting ready to mix that slop up. We're going to see how that works. Then we're going to boil it down. Once we boil it down, we're going to add, as it's boiling, we'll add a little bit of cornstarch and water mixture to kind of help thicken it up while it boils down. But I can't do that until I double fry the chicken and then clean the wok, because that's where we're going to cook it, is in the wok. Cook it down in the wok. Alright, we're getting a little bit past golden brown, but that's the way I want mine. I don't want mine just golden brown. I like to have my chicken really crunchy. And of course, by double frying, you always get that crunchy. The thing is, I want to make sure this chicken's cooked all the way through. And they're not very large pieces, and that wok is pretty hot. Maybe another minute or so, and we'll take everything out. Then we'll clean the wok and put the sauce in and boil it down. Alright, I think that's going to do it. We'll go ahead and scoop all this stuff out. Put it in the old bowl over here. Alright, we've got everything in the pan. And we are going to cook it on down to it's about a consistency of thin syrup. By the way, credit to this entire recipe goes to Souped Up Recipes. It's a YouTuber, a lady, Chinese lady, Souped Up Recipes. She has some really good stuff, by the way. And, you know, hers will, of course, have turned out much, much better than mine. But, you know, she's a she and I'm a he. And she's been doing it for probably a week and a half now, whereas I've just started. So we'll cook it on down. Then we'll add a little bit of sesame oil to it. Just drizzle some on in there. And we'll add some of this thickened up potato starch water here. And then we'll dump our chicken in and get it all coated. And once done, put a few sesame seeds on top of the rice. Now I've got the rice already cooking. Already cooked, actually. Let's turn it down a little bit more even. I don't want it to go too hot. I don't want it to turn into glue. We want it to just kind of go like that. We'll show it to you after we get the chicken in and start kicking the chicken around inside of it. Alright, that's the consistency we're looking for. Now we'll take a little bit of sesame oil, just exactly what it says on the bottle. Pure sesame oil. We'll dribble a little bit down in there. And then we'll stir that up. And now we're going to dump the chicken in and just start flopping it around. Now I ask you, does that look good? But there's still something missing. Remember, this is sesame chicken. We're going to add toasted sesame seeds. Yes, we will. I like those. They're really good. Add as much as you want. I happen to like a lot of it. And we're going to stir it all around. And then we're going to put this over the top of some nice rice. And I'm going to feed it to Wifey. She's been sitting over there on her lazy... You've been sitting on your lazy butt, haven't you? Huh? She's not answering me. Alright. Well, there we go. The big one's mine. Wifey doesn't eat as much as I do. We just kind of garnish it with some green onion on there. A little bit over here for me. I think she's going to like this. Didn't turn out as good as, like I said, that lady that has the Souped Up Recipes web channel. But it smells good, looks good, and we're going to get a taste test from Wifey. She's the ultimate taste tester now that her mom, great-grandma, is living on the East Coast. Well, Wifey says it tastes good. She likes it, huh?
Yep.
Tastes really good. Didn't turn out to be a total failure, did it?
No, it's not.
That's good. Alright, now of course you can always add a little soy sauce if you want. You can add a little salt and a little pepper if you want. You can put on there whatever you want. But this is the basic sesame chicken. I think the sauce and everything turned out wonderful. Let me taste it. I had enough talk. I want to taste it. Mmm. Crunchy too, huh?
Yeah, and some soy sauce.
Yeah. Mmm, that's good. Mmm. Man, I love Oriental food. I can't help it. Until next time, this is John.